Natalie just made a lot of money on it. You know, they say that third swap is all this stuff is like disgusting now. Like all the letters are like ripped up. Like I have like sweat marks and like stains. Like I couldn't even do most of my stuff. But yeah, if you guys want, if there's any burn stuff that you have and want to get away, go to that swap page on Facebook. People are like all for it. There's big spenders on there.
But I feel like every time I look at it, you're like, remember, the rules are this. Like, oh, the rules. There's a lot of rules. There's a lot of rules to swap.
When it was like when you started, there's like no rules. It was like
Yeah, I started like 15 girls for 1 year, now 5,000.
So yeah, burn swap page.
Like literally,
Really hard. We're gonna start with we're gonna stretch our neck a little bit, our upper part of our spine and neck. So you can just relax those arms by your side. You can just sit back into your heels like this, or if that bothers your knees, you can sit more like this, maybe whatever feels best. So drop your chin down to your chest, and then turn your head to the left. Still keeping that chin down. Drop your ear down to your shoulder a little bit, then we're gonna make a huge circle going from the left side all the way around to that right side. Your head's gonna drop to the right. Meet me back in the middle, so bring your chin back to the middle of your chest, nod your head back to the right, and then kind of reach the head to the side laterally in a huge circle around. So at your own pace, just think of these. Your head drops to the left, come back to the middle. Nod to the left. Big lateral stretch, taking that ear down towards your shoulder, all the way back and around. And then drop that head back to the middle. Nod to the right. Big lateral stretch to the side of the ear, up and around. Do a couple more. Left, big lateral stretch with the head, reaching to the left side, around, over to that right side, and dropping back to the middle, and then down to the right. Okay, coming back to all fours, we're going to start the cat-cow next. So on your hands and knees, we're gonna start by dropping our chin, rounding our upper back, and then we'll go down our spine until we round our low back. Then we'll start to arch our low back and work our way back up towards our neck and upper spine. Hi, Megan. Drop your head, drop your chin, and then push your hands to the ground as you start to round those shoulders. Start working down that mid spine, low back, tuck that tailbone, you're all rounded up. And then we're gonna start to release it. So leading with the hips first, hips push back. Starting to unwind, working our way up our back, all the way up into our mid back, upper back, and then your eyes saying look up to the ceiling, or up ahead, not to the ceiling. Chin, start rounding, starting at the chin, starting at your neck, starting with your shoulders, upper back, mid back, low back, tuck that tailbone, and then push those hips back. I have something to tell you guys while you're doing this. Have you guys ever had those Quest chips that have 19 grams of protein in them?
Triangles?
I don't know if they're triangle. Oh, I think that they are triangles. Oh my god. So you can tell that's not a real chip, all right? Like you're not gonna get that good feel that you get when you're eating like a good chip. But it tastes pretty much like a chip, and it has 19 grams of protein in it. Zero added sugar, low fat. Yeah, it's great. All right, back to the cat-cow. I just found that Target and I really, really liked them, and I just got so excited. I was like, I have to tell you guys about these chips. So they come in like cheddar, barbecue, ranch, plain. And then there's also that juice. It's called Suja. It has zero added sugar. It's all like natural fruits and veggies. So if you have a hard time getting your servings of fruits and vegetables in, they have it at Kroger, Meijer, Target. It's called Suja. All right, once you guys are ready, we're gonna sit back into our heels. We're gonna reach those arms out ahead of us, go into child's pose with that reach. So those arms stay stretched in front. We're gonna roll ourselves up into cobra. So you're gonna go into that cat position. You're gonna start rounding your back as you bring those hips down into the floor, drop the hips. Shoulder blades pull down the back, looking up towards the ceiling. Christy, also, you already look better than that. Looking over each shoulder, looking over the left, and then peeking over the right. And then we're going to start rounding, pushing through those hands, rounding those shoulders, rounding that back, pushing ourselves back into child's pose. Perfect. Holding that reach there for a second. Let's kind of wobble side to side. So move your hips around side to side in the stretch. And then slow and controlled coming up, keeping that tailbone tucked, cat position, everything nice and round. And then we'll start to drop those hips. Pull those shoulder blades down the back, look up towards the ceiling, chest out. And then if it feels good, you can take a little peek over your shoulder gently, twisting behind. And slowly control coming back up into that child's pose. A nice stretch on our spine, low back, a little bit on hips, shoulders, chest, rolling ourselves up, dropping those hips, eyesight looking up to the ceiling, pull those shoulders down your back, puff that chest out, and then take a little peek over each shoulder. Left, over to the right. And once you're ready, we're gonna kind of drop ourselves down, chest to the floor. We're gonna stretch our arms out to a T. So next we're gonna do a scorpion. So your palms are facing down. You're gonna bend, let's start with our left leg. So bend your left leg at 90 degrees. Now you're gonna push that foot up to the sky and then reach it up and around to the right side. And then try to plant that foot on the floor and then push that knee out. Or if that foot can't plant all the way, you can just kind of tap that toe down and then hold it there for a few seconds and then carefully come back to that middle position with those legs on the floor. Once you're ready, we'll bend the right leg and then gently reach it up and around. If you can, plant your foot and then push that knee away from your body. So I'm pushing my right knee out to the right. I'm still keeping my foot kind of flat. So I'm rolling it back to the middle. Bending that left leg at 90, bringing it up and reaching around. Is coming back in a few weeks. She had her baby back in May. She's a certified yoga instructor. Once you guys are ready, you can switch sides. She's going to throw in some yoga. She said once a week, so we'll see if she does that. And then, obviously, I still do mobility if people keep showing up, but if you guys like the yoga better, just doing that. I need some yoga. So Liz does more of like the slow flow with the holds. You guys want your own pace. We're just going to stay here for about 20 more seconds. Then we're going to go into some lumbar rocks. We're going to lay on our back. Get that low back mobilized, work that spine a little bit and the hips. Don't forget, Tough 21 starts on Monday. So if you haven't gotten a packet yet, I don't know if there's any more left at the front, but we'll print out more for tomorrow and Monday. We didn't get one yet, but it's also in the PDF. Once you're ready, let's lay on our back. We're gonna bring our legs together so feet and knees are gonna squeeze together. Take those arms into a goalpost so my palms are facing up, my arms are bent. From here, we wanna keep our shoulders and arms on the ground. We're gonna rock our knees side to side. So if you get to a certain point and that shoulder starts coming up, don't drop those legs as far down. So keep the feet and knees pressed together. You're just rocking side to side. As you pull those knees back up, think about pulling your belly button in. And exhale on that drop. Deep breath in, suck that belly button, pull those knees up. So if you're dropping to the right, you want to make sure that left shoulder stays on the floor. If you're dropping to the left, you want to make sure that that right shoulder blade stays on the floor. A couple more right here. About 30 more seconds just working through these, and then we'll switch it up. We're going to go into a different stretch. We're still going to be laying on our back. It's going to target our hips a little bit more. We're still going to be stretching out the lower back though. So 15 more seconds here, and then we're going to cross that right leg over the left in about 10 seconds. Taking that last drop. And then once those legs are pulled back up, take your right leg and then you're gonna cross it over top of the left. We're gonna make that figure 4. So we're only gonna drop to the right side now. So you're just gonna drop down to the right, get that leg to touch the floor, come close to touching, and then pull it back to the middle. So you're only dropping to the right if your right leg is up. If your left leg is crossed over, you're gonna drop to the left. So just down to the right, and then back up to the middle. 15 more seconds on this side. And then once you're ready, let's take that left leg, or if you just did the left, we'll do the right. Left leg crossing up over the right and dropping down to the left. So you should feel this in your right hip. And a couple more on this side. 10 more seconds. We're going to go back to our shoulders. And then we're going to do our wrists. So once you're ready, you're going to come back into all fours. So you're on your hands and knees. So what you're going to do is we're going to take our right arm, make a fist with your hand, and bring it behind your head. You're going to keep that arm up as high and extend it out straight, and then you're going to turn that palm in because you want it to face up, and we're going to bend it behind our back right here. So that palm is going to turn in because you want it to face up, and then you're going to extend back out straight, and then start rolling that palm to face back down when you bend that arm right behind your head. So behind your head, palm down, extend out, and then start circling around. Turning that palm to face up, bending behind that back. And as you circle back to right here, kind of start turning that palm back into face down. Try to keep that arm up as high as you possibly can so you get as much range of motion as possible here. Slowly twirling that palm to face up. And then turning it back around as you move to face down. 10 more seconds on the side. And then once you're ready, we're going to switch. So now we're going right and left. Remember, so you make it faster, kind of tight, almost facing down. That fist is facing down here too. Start twirling that wrist around to face up. Bend that arm. Back. About 10 more seconds on this side. We're going to do a wrist stretch next. Sometimes my arm falls asleep when I'm doing this. And then once you're ready, we're going to sit back up into our heels. You guys can either sit like this or sit in the crisscross, whatever feels better. We're going to pull back on our fingers. So we're going to stretch out the core of our wrist. Just pull back as much as you can. Those fingers will be stretch so you can. 5 more seconds in that hold. And then we're going to take that hand in, press on the top of that hand, press on the top of that hand, press it down, press it forward. Press it, and then bring it back out. Bring it back with the fingers, and then press it on the top of the hand and hold it. So we go back in. Try to tuck that knuckle like around your shoulder right here. And back out, extend that wrist out. Back on those fingers, 5 seconds on that hold, that elbow straight, and then hold that in, pressing on the top of that hand, hold that elbow. Last one. to the other side. Has anyone ever done a front squat with a barbell in front of them like this? Yeah, so important to have mobile wrists and elbows for that. So remember, keep that elbow high. If you roll that hand and sharpen the elbow up to shoulder level. Strong that hand, extend out. Fingers. Two more. Like so be tight from the farmer carries, chin ups, holding weights this week. Still sore from Tuesday, full body. So once you're ready, we're going to take it into a 90-90. So you're going to bring your right leg in front at 90 degrees, your back leg at 90 degrees. Try to keep that knee on the ground as best as you can on both sides. So we're going to bring our arms out to a T, and then we're going to just drop that chest down and wrap around the chin, right? If you can't, or pop or look at it, and let's get out of it for a second, and then come back into it. And then we're going to turn to face that outer leg, and then kind of gently lean into that head. Just gently, you're not going to drop your chest all the way down. And then back to the front, dropping your chest to that front leg. Down. And then lift up, turning to that side leg, just gently lean into that side leg. Just a little bit into that side. We're going to stay here with 10 more seconds. So we're going to look over to the other side and show you how we do that. So keep those arms up high. As you come up on your heels, you're going to pull those arms in and then stretch them back out as we drop to the other side. So you can rest your shoulders for a second. Arms out. Folding into that front leg. Dropping that chest as far down as you can. Back up. Twisting to the outer leg. Slightly into that side hip. About 15 more seconds. My shoulders, man. If you have to rest them for a second, feel free. You'll fall asleep. And then once you're ready, we're gonna spend 30 seconds rotating side to side. So bring those arms out to a T. We're just gonna rotate back and forth, dropping our legs to the right and then dropping the left. So we'll get up and down to the right, and then bring those arms back in. You guys might collide into each other a little bit. You might move around a little bit, that's okay. Try to use your core, so keep that core in tight, sit back a little bit, keep those heels dug into the floor. And then open up. Try to put those heels on the ground. If you need to, you can also use your hands. You can put your hands or fingertips behind you, and then sit up. Hands behind you, so you get assistance. Yeah, so we're into the front of the room. Alright, so remember we used to work out together at 10:30? Yes. Remember when we worked out, it was just me and you, those times? That was like one of the hardest workouts I've ever done in my life. I remember that day still.
Did there was gonna be 10:30 camp?
Yeah, we still did 10:30, but it was like very poorly attended, and no other trainers wanted to stay. Yeah. No one else wanted to stay for that shower, so I was just the one who stayed. I was always staying. I didn't care, but I was like, man, this is gonna be no attendance, no more. All right, once you guys are ready, let's go into all fours. We're gonna do some hip circles. So you're gonna focus on tracing a circle with your knees. So huge circle coming forward, and then huge circle coming back. So pretend your knee is like a paintbrush, and you're just trying to make as big of a circle as possible, tracing with that knee, keeping that leg bent. We're gonna stay on this side for about 15 more seconds. Continue to breathe. This can be kind of uncomfortable. And then we're gonna stand on this side for 10 more seconds, and we're gonna switch to the other hip. All right, once you're ready, we'll go to the other side. So huge circle coming around, going back, and then huge circle going forward. It's gonna be 10 more seconds on this, and we're gonna go down dog to pigeon. Then we'll start working more to our hip flexors and hamstrings after that. So once you're ready, meet me in high plank. We're gonna go on the hands and toes. I'm gonna have you drive those heels to the ground with your head between your shoulder blades. You're gonna pedal up your feet right here and just hang out. And then we're gonna take savings and elbows. So I'm gonna start with my left side. I don't know why. I go left elbow. Hold that leg forward. Eventually you want to get to a point where like that shin can be like parallel in front of you, but if that's too much, you can pull that foot in more. Let's try to fold that chest down and that leg. Drop that chest, just hold it here for like 20 seconds. Try to stay as relaxed as you possibly can. Even though it might be kind of uncomfortable. Still breathing. 10 seconds, we'll go back into down dog. We just finished training. Because they left at like 7 to start, so it must have been like a long ride. Right knee up to right elbow now. We fold to that other side, other leg, drop the chest. Just trying to relax. About 20 seconds, please. The more we do this, every time you do it, try to like, if you're like right here, see if you can pull that shin up a little bit more. You can push it up a little bit more. So if you're here, see if you can push that foot up just a little more. Even if it's a little uncomfortable, as long as there's no pain, and then try to sink into it from there. 5 more seconds, and we're gonna go back to that first side before we're gonna go to that down dog pose. So pushing back up on the plank, going into that down dog. Glory. Hips to the sky, close to where you can have your feet right here too. And then left knee to left elbow. So wherever you were before, see if you can bring that foot a little bit further up. So this is like where I started when I started doing the stretch. So every single time I'd see if I could shove that foot a little bit more, and I'd see how long I could hold it for before I needed to just let it up break. So see if you can hold it there for about 15 more seconds. One side is going to be bigger than the other, so one side might be able to get to that 90, the other side might be a little more difficult. And then back into high plank. Heels driving down to the forehead between those shoulder blades. And then we'll take that right hand to right elbow. On this side too, see if you can push that foot up slightly. As long as there's no pain, just like you're uncomfortable. 27 minutes. Once you're ready, we're going to come up to standing. So we're going to go into a deep squat hold. We're going to try to hold it here for a minute. So if a minute's too long for you, feel free to like come up into your hamstring stretch and then hold it, or come just meet us back down. You can break up that minute if you need to. So we're going to get down into that deep squat. You're going to push those knees out with your elbows, make sure those heels stay down. Minute starts right now. So pushing your knees out with your elbows, you're going to kind of rock it side to side. So you want those heels, toes, midfoot, everything on the floor. If you're having a hard time keeping the heels down, just separate those feet a little more. All right, just rock it side to side. Like I said, if you need to bottom stretch for a second, shake it out, do it, then come right back into the stretch. 25 seconds in, you got about 35 seconds to go. Find a little rock. You can step your feet a little bit further apart if you want it more of a stretch. Really, really, really push those knees away with your elbows. And then try to see if you can push that knee forward to get a nice stretch in your ankle. Right. I was gonna say, you guys are so good. 15 more seconds. This is the last mobility class ever. This is the biggest it's ever been, I think. It was a rough week. Yeah. I love it. 3, 2, and 1. Reaching down for the middle. Dang, you guys did it. Nice. All right, so now we're up to 10 minutes now. I'm still not at 10. I can't get past 5 now. I was stuck at 3, now I'm stuck at 5. Yeah, everything falls asleep. I usually have to like stand my phone or like drink water while I'm doing it to take my night up. All right, what can we do next? Standing. I'm gonna think of something else. Let's actually go to kneeling. I want to do hip flexors and hamstrings. So get onto one knee. So this is just relaxed right here. I'm not doing anything. I want you to tuck your tailbone underneath your pelvis. This back glute should squeeze. So my right hand around my right knee, squeeze tight. Big deep breath, drive those hips forward, reach those arms up. Press that knee out. And then we're gonna straighten out that front leg. You're gonna come back that heel, drop down to your fingertips. I want you to push your hips back and try to sink that chest down. If you guys can come down to your forearms, I can't get there. I have to like just bend my elbows, but if you can rest on your forearms, that would be like the hardest version of it. Hillary's almost there. Please, Carrie. We're probably just
I can't do the other forearm. I can only do
just one side. All right, we're gonna step that foot back up. So what I'm doing at home, I'll stack up books next to me, and then I'll try to like work down. So I'll take a book off or a magazine every like week and see if I can get a little bit lower. So you can use blocks or books or boxes and just set your elbows and forearms down on those if you want to get lower than just being on your hands. So I like put a couple books here and then set them down. And then we're just going to go into that hamstring stretch. So push those hips back. You don't want to lock out that knee. You want just a little bit of a bend. And then we're just going to hold it here for a few seconds. You can pull back on your toe. Back up into that hip flexor stretch. Again, tuck that tailbone, squeeze that glute. Huge reach up, driving those hips forward. And then last time on the hamstring stretch, straightening out, digging that heel down, dropping onto your hands, bending those elbows a little bit and sink down just a bit further. And yeah, this is about where like my books would be. I have my forearms on my books and I get a little bit of a deeper stretch. It's easier to relax that way. I don't know what a little bit. Yeah. I couldn't do it. You're my arms. I know, yeah, I guess if you have longer arms, right, a little bit of a benefit. Tuck your tailbone, squeeze that back glute. Okay, reach up. And we are going to drop that chest push back. Get it, girl. Woo! Can someone whistle? Can anyone do that whistle? Actually, don't do it. You're gonna scare me. I might use. You can do it, Amy? No. Okay. I want to find out who our whistlers are because, like, if I ever need to get the camp's attention, I can have them do that instead. We're a whistling coach. Okay, yeah, we're gonna get a whistle coach.
You can get a whistle. I do squeezing whistles.
Ooh.
But you don't have to put them in your mouth.
I want to be able to do it with my fingers, so I want to be able to be like one of those like country folk that can like call the animals in. Yeah.
I'm trying really hard to. Yeah.
I think Heidi can do it.
My head coach
Who did back into that? Someone did it at that summit. They were like, I do this to get my camps to listen to me, and I'm like, ah. Right. Last time in that hamstring stretch, pushing back the hips, dropping the chest. And then we're going to start working more into our ankles. More seconds. Moving forward the ankles, I want to do something that's called a lizard stretch. So this is going to stretch out your quad, a little bit of hamstring, down to your hips. So you're going to stand You're gonna stay up on that back knee. Step one, flip your foot up to your hand, just like in that alternating low runner's lunge that we did. So you guys are gonna stand your hands. From here, most of you guys might be able to drop down to your forearms. So keep that foot planted down, let that knee track out. We're gonna hold this for a minute on each side. So you can scoot that back leg, scoot that back knee a little bit further back so you get a little stretch on that back quad hip. Drop to your forearms so you can stand your hand if the forearms are too low. Yeah, so most of you guys can get down, your forearms are pretty close. We're gonna hold it here for about 45 more seconds and we'll switch. So really think about letting that knee travel outside my left foot up. So letting my left knee push out to the left and still keeping my toe and my full foot, my heel on the ground. About 30 more seconds on the lizard stretch hold. And then we're going to switch about 15 seconds with that other leg. Then we'll start stretching the ankles a little bit more. 3, 2, 1. Switching to that other side. Stepping the same foot up to the same hand. Dropping out of those forearms, working into your hands. Another one where if you are just about to your forearms but not quite there, you can use blocks or books to stack yourself up on. Make sure that your full foot's still on the ground, just that knee is tracking the knee from the guide. And then you're going to reach out. About 30 more seconds on the side. More seconds on this hold. Actually, I'm going to do groin and then ankle. So groin next. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So I'm going to have you guys come onto one knee, then you're going to stretch one leg out straight. You want to keep that foot on the floor side, right left leg stretched out. Make sure that back foot's relaxed. You're not like up on your back toe, that foot's just flat. So you're going to get either on your forearms or on your hands. Let's actually start on hands. You rock forward and back. So you're going to sit your butt back into your heels, so keep that foot down, and then rock back out, so keeping that foot off the heels. So that's fine. As you do this, you can stretch that leg out a little bit more. So I'm seeing if my left leg can stretch a little bit further out as you kind of rock. One more stretch. Let that foot slide out. Sit back. As we make this slide further and further away from the back. And what's happening for a second is stretch. Carefully slide that in. We're going to switch to the other side. So as you're rocking forward and back, you're going to slide that out a little bit more each time. Still on to the flat of the ground. Every time you sit back, see that slide out. Doing a stretch. This is one of the stretches we're doing like the night or day out of the day. Just because I hurt my lower back a while ago, so like I still get a little bit of flare up on that, so I try to add a lot more leg stretching the night before or the day of having leg day. 10 more seconds here, so you can slide that up close a bit more each time. And now we're going to go to a frog. So you're going to start with your feet together. If you're not, like when I do it like this, I don't get much of a stretch because I'm pretty flexible in my hips and my brain. So you might be like me, you might need to bring those feet out a bit more to like a 93 or a 99. So Feet together will be level 1. Level 2 is bringing those feet out away from each other. And then we're just going to rock forward and back. You might not get a lot of range of motion here, but see how far back you can rock those hips. And then once you feel that big stretch, your hips and brain start coming forward. Relax. So just rocking forward and back. See if you can bring those knees out a little more. Remember, the further apart you bring your feet, the more of a stretch you'll get. If it's too big of a stretch for those feet apart, you can back in a little bit closer together. Just pushing these hips back and forward right here. We're going to stay here for about 45 more seconds. Be very uncomfortable on that push back. Try your best to get those hips pushed back as far as you can go. And that happens super far. Just a little bit of range of motion here. About 20 more seconds in the stretch, and then we'll start going into our ankles. 5. 10 more seconds. Three, 2, and 1. So we're going to come back to that kneeling position. So I have my left foot stepped up. I'm going to grab onto the top of my left foot with my right hand, and then I'm just going to drive that knee forward as far forward as I can go without bringing that heel off the ground, and then I'm going to relax and push back. So see how far forward you can drive that knee. I like to push my body weight into it, so you'll notice I'm like letting my chest and my entire torso like push down in the front of that leg, and I kind of like to hold it for a second. So you can hold that stretch for a second, try to get that knee over the toe, and then come back, and then drive forward. Pushing that foot to the ground with that hand. So that hand's holding that foot down, stabilizing it. Your heel needs to stay on the ground first. So don't let it come up. Go as far forward as you can, out long and forward left. And if you're not feeling it, lift that opposite hand up. Push your body weight into that front leg. Lower into that front leg. You can even grab, I'm just don't know what's cheering. I'm not going to use that. You can even grab a dumbbell and drive forward like this if you'd like to. So if you guys want to grab a dumbbell, you can rest it behind your knee, drive forward, low into that front ankle, and then come back. I'll just show you all this. I'll show you guys the dumbbell. And we're going to do 2 rounds of this. So if you want to do the dumbbell, the next round you can. All right, let's switch to the other side. We'll all do dumbbell for round 2. So grabbing onto the opposite hand, driving that knee forward towards the toe. Seeing how much you can load into the front of that leg, letting that chest kind of push down. And then come back. Sonia, I got to meet Matt at Summit. Do you do his workouts? Oh, you don't do the headquarters ones? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're Matt. You like that? I like it. I guess I just do this.
Is there a way to do this without?
Oh,
Yeah, we do the wall and stand.
yeah. We'll do it standing.
That means
All right, guys, we're gonna grab some weights. So don't grab anything heavier than 25. 20, maybe like 15 to 25 pounds. Maybe 30 too, you guys can handle 30. So just grabbing a dumbbell. There's some 20s over here. Got some 20s. I'm gonna grab this 25 real quick. We'll go back to that first leg, and if you want to do it the way that we did it before, I just want you to so you're not open your kneecap, keep it like behind that knee, and then what you're gonna do is just drive that knee forward while still keeping that head around until you feel like the knee bends in your ankle. Hold there for 30 seconds, and then bring that back. Feel it?
Yes. You could call it that.
Keep that heel down too. Don't let that heel come up. Right. forward. I want to push your weight. Push. If you can. Then feel 80, 80, 80. One more cycle on the side. I love doing this before I do squats. My ankles are tight looking at the condition workout. Just mobilizing them before you do your squats can make such a big difference. I also like squatting barefoot with socks on. So if you guys find you can't get your shoes are really restricted, you find that you're like limiting the amount of mobility that you switch, feel free to take the shoes off when you squat. Just don't drop weight on your foot. If you move your foot, don't tell them when they're totally squat. Socks on.
Well, when we take our shoes off, we have to say Elizabeth says.
Yeah. Okay. I say Elizabeth said. I just say that. It's like, oh yeah, like I love to say Elizabeth squats without shoes. Some of it's just because I do it. I guess there's video proof that I told you guys that, but I like it because I feel like there's nothing pulling, like I can get as much motion, I can feel the floor, like I feel that my foot is pushing through the entire ground, nothing's working in there, right? My foot, so it also will feel better. I don't have shoes on for my squats.
Unless your ankles turn like mine.
It hurts my other hip.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
where
where it hurts.
Yeah, I don't want it, but not enough for it to really matter. But if you do need like your shoes for a special support, then you might want to keep them on. You can get like flatter shoes. They have special shoes for lifting that are flat. All right, we're stop doing this. Sorry, I'm tired. I've had a long time. We're gonna do one more stretch. We're gonna go back to the child pose for a second. So Noble makes flat lifting shoes. There's so many different brands. You just don't really want to lift in like running shoes or shoes that have a high heel. Like cross trainers are fine. Start walking those hands over to the left and then shift your body weight to your right hip. But running shoes have too high of a heel and a big drop, so those aren't super ideal for lifting. Walking those hands to your right side. Do you like your Nobles, Christy?
I do.
Yeah, she got a pair of
Your question right in the door.
yeah, we're right at birth and there's one together like that. We're gonna do one more side stretch just to end. So reach your right arm back, tie that to your right heel, right ankle, and then reach that left arm back behind you. And stretch. And then belly button tight, squeeze those glutes back to the middle. And then we switch to the other side. Big reach back. Exhale. Breath, belly button in, coming back to the middle. And then switching back to that first side. Helps us to really look behind. We'll stay here for about 30 more seconds, just alternating. And that feels good. About 10 more seconds here. And if you guys ever want more stretches for specific areas, like if you have really tight wrists or forearms and you want more stretches, I can always send you guys stretches on Facebook or like Messenger. Just let me know. Let's say I'm about for a second and just breathe. So we're just gonna add like a minute of just deep breathing. We're gonna practice diaphragm breathing. So put your hands on top of your stomach. And I want you to take a deep breath in, feel that stomach rise. And then as you exhale, body mouth, feel that stomach drop. Once you know that you're breathing deep into your diaphragm and your chest, you can take those hands off your stomach, bring off the side, or you can leave them wherever you want. We're still focusing on deep belly breaths right here for about 30 more seconds. Just try to stay as relaxed as possible. Relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your arms. Letting those feet go out a little bit. a lot of resources, so if you don't like rewatching like the lives, I can always give like recommendations. There's some people I follow that will post their PTs and trainers like this, like full on flows. You can hold up a lot of space. But I think those stretches you felt really tight in, where you had limited range of motion, trying to keep them in your toolbox and add them to your weekly routine, trying to do it once or twice a week. And feel free to like come early before a warm-up if you have the time, and like before we do squats, do the ankle stretch with a lower weight, do that deep squat stretch. We did those low runners on the stand at the beginning. I love those. Sometimes you don't program those in the lifting, but those are great to stretch our low back and hamstrings and glutes. Thank you so much for coming, guys. We'll do it next Friday, same time as when we're coming on. Same time, same place. So get ready, enjoy your weekend because Monday starts the top 21. No alcohol for 21 days.
So what you're saying is half the week.
Yeah. Obviously, like if you're pretty heavy drinker, you can start by just cutting back instead of limiting it all together. So see how many days a week you're drinking and try to cut it down to a couple days. We're just having a weekend. It's so good. There's no added sugar. Remember, added sugar is in a lot of things, so we're just trying to limit it. I know. Well, I love sugar too. See, like it's not sugar. Remember, the added sugar isn't from like fruit though. It's just what they add in it when they